Most people spend their lives waiting for confidence to just show up. They think it's something you're born with or that you have to somehow earn over time. But here's the truth. Confidence isn't something you wait for. Confidence is something you build. It's something you create by taking action, by stepping up, and by deciding every single day that you will no longer doubt yourself. The most important thing you can do is to be true to yourself. When you start to believe in yourself, you're no longer waiting for the world to give you permission to succeed. In today's video, I'm going to show you exactly how to reprogram your mind for that kind of unstoppable confidence. The kind that doesn't fade with a few setbacks, the kind that grows stronger every day. We're going to talk about what confidence really is, how you can cultivate it, and why it's essential to start showing up for yourself in ways you've never done before. This isn't about quick tricks or temporary motivation. It's about real, lasting change. If you're ready to stop playing small and start stepping into your full potential, then stay with me. You'll leave this video with a new mindset, a mindset that will shift how you see yourself and the world around you. You'll understand how confidence is built and how it's time to stop waiting and start acting. Remember, the moment you stop seeking approval from others and start trusting in your own abilities, that's the moment everything changes. It's time to own your confidence and stop letting anything or anyone hold you back. Let's dive in and start the journey to building the unstoppable confidence you deserve. Number 1, confidence is earned in silence. Train your mind when no one is watching. Confidence is not something you wake up with one day. It is not something that magically appears when you need it. It is built, shaped, and strengthened in the quiet moments when no one is watching. That is where real confidence is formed. Not in front of an audience, not when people are clapping for you, but in the moments of silence, when you choose to put in the work, when you push yourself forward without anyone else telling you to. Most people misunderstand confidence. They think it's a personality trait, that some people are just naturally born with it. But that's not true. Confidence is a result. It's a reflection of what you do when the cameras are off, when there are no spectators, when it's just you and the challenge in front of you. If you want to be unshakable in public, you have to be disciplined in private. You have to earn your confidence when no one else is there to give you validation. Think about this. Have you ever met someone who seems completely at ease in any situation? They walk into a room and you can just tell they believe in themselves. They don't hesitate. They don't second guess their words. And you wonder, how do they do it? The truth is, that kind of confidence isn't something they were born with. It was built through hours, days, years of quiet work when no one was watching. Because here's the reality. Confidence is not created in the moment you need it. It is created in the moments leading up to it. It is built every time you practice your skills alone. Every time you push yourself to be better when there's no pressure from the outside world. Every time you follow through on the promises you make to yourself, even when nobody else would know if you failed. Most people wait for confidence to come before they take action. They think, once I feel more confident, I'll step up. Once I believe in myself more, I'll go after what I want. But that is the biggest mistake you can make. Confidence does not show up before action. It comes as a result of it. You don't wait to feel ready. You take action first, and confidence follows. The best athletes don't become confident the day of the big game. They build their confidence in the early morning workouts, in the long nights of training, in the unseen hours of practice. The most successful business leaders don't suddenly gain confidence when they step on stage. They build it through years of studying, making mistakes, learning, and improving in silence. The people who seem fearless in life, they are the ones who have put in the work when no one else was watching. So ask yourself, what are you doing when no one is looking? Are you training your mind? Are you pushing yourself to get better, even when you don't have to? Or are you just waiting for confidence to magically appear one day? If you want to build unstoppable confidence, you need to start taking your private victories seriously. Because confidence comes from keeping the promises you make to yourself. It comes from knowing deep down that you have prepared, that you have done the work, that you have earned the right to trust yourself. One of the biggest things that destroy confidence is breaking promises to yourself. Every time you tell yourself you'll wake up early but hit snooze instead, you chip away at your confidence. Every time you set a goal but don't follow through, you weaken your belief in yourself. And over time, that creates doubt, hesitation, insecurity. That's why so many people struggle with confidence, because their own mind knows they haven't earned it. But the opposite is also true. When you start showing up for yourself, when you follow through on your commitments, when you train in silence, when you put in the work, even when there's no reward, you start to believe in yourself. Your mind starts to trust you. And when that happens, you walk into any situation knowing you are ready. You no longer have to fake confidence because it's real. It's built on a foundation of hard work and discipline. That's why some people walk into a room with power while others shrink back in doubt. It's not about luck, it's not about genetics, it's about preparation. It's about the unseen effort, the private discipline, the silent work that no one else sees but you. So if you want to reprogram your mind for unstoppable confidence, start training it when no one is watching. Push yourself to get better every day, not because someone is watching, not because someone will clap for you, but because you owe it to yourself. Speak to yourself with strength. Stop filling your mind with doubt. Every time you catch yourself saying, I'm not good enough, stop that thought in its tracks and replace it with, I am improving every day. Because your brain is always listening, it believes what you tell it. And most importantly, keep showing up. Confidence is not built overnight. It is built through repetition, through consistency, through proving to yourself over and over again that you are capable. Every time you push through discomfort, every time you take action despite fear, every time you hold yourself accountable, you are reinforcing the belief that you are strong. So start now. Start today. Train in silence. Build yourself up. And when the time comes to step into the spotlight, you won't have to force confidence. You will already be the person who has earned it. And that kind of confidence, no one can take it from you. Number 2, stop waiting for confidence. Act first, feel it later. Confidence doesn't show up because you wait for it. It's not something you get before you take action. It's something you earn by taking action. Let me say that again. You don't wait to feel confident before you act. You act first, and that's how you build confidence. It's so simple, yet so many people get this wrong. They sit around waiting for the right moment, waiting for confidence to just appear, thinking that once they feel ready, they'll take the leap. But that's not how it works. The reality is you can't wait for the confidence to come before you do the work. You have to step up first, even when it feels uncomfortable, and that's when the confidence follows. Most people have this backwards. They think confidence is the starting point. They think, I'll wait until I feel more confident to start this new project, this new job, this new workout plan. And so they stay stuck, standing at the edge of opportunity, waiting for something to happen. And that's where they remain, never taking the first step, never feeling the rush of momentum, because they're waiting to feel something they'll never feel until they get moving. They keep looking for a sign, for a moment when everything aligns, for confidence to come knocking at their door. But it doesn't work that way. The truth is, waiting for confidence to appear will keep you in the same place forever. Confidence isn't a feeling, it's a result. It's a result of your actions, of taking that first step, of doing the work, of showing up even when it's hard and doing the things that challenge you. Confidence doesn't arrive in a box with a ribbon tied around it. It arrives the moment you take that first step, even though you're scared, even though you don't have it all figured out, even though you feel uncertain. When you take action, when you push yourself to move forward, that's when confidence begins to grow. It doesn't start inside you, it's created through your actions. Have you ever noticed that the more you do something, the easier it gets? When you're first starting something new, it's uncomfortable. You feel awkward. You feel unsure. But once you push through those initial challenges, you begin to feel better. You get stronger. You get smarter. And then you start to feel a little more confident. It's not that you're suddenly a different person. It's that you've taken action and allowed yourself to experience growth. Confidence follows action. It's a direct result of doing something even when you don't feel ready. Think about the first time you did something challenging. Maybe it was speaking in front of a group. Maybe it was starting a new job. Maybe it was working out for the first time. The first time you did it, you probably felt nervous. You probably felt unsure. But what happened the more you did it? It became easier, you got better, you grew. And with that growth came confidence. That's because confidence comes from doing. It comes from showing up, even when you don't have all the answers. If you wait for confidence to arrive, you're waiting for something that won't come until you start doing. Confidence doesn't come from thinking about things, it comes from acting on them. It comes from doing the hard work, from pushing through discomfort, from challenging yourself to be better. You've got to stop waiting for the perfect moment, because it won't come. The perfect moment is when you decide to start. The reason why some people seem to be naturally confident is because they've done it before. They've already acted, taken the steps, faced the challenges, and learned how to handle the discomfort. They've built confidence through repeated actions. And guess what? You can do the same. You can build your confidence by stepping up and taking action. When you take action, you create evidence for yourself that you can do it. You prove to your brain that you are capable. And that's what builds confidence. Here's the secret. Confidence doesn't have to come all at once. It can start small. It can start with one step, one decision, one action. It can start with a little progress each day, a small commitment to moving forward. As long as you're moving, you're building confidence. You're proving to yourself that you can handle it, that you can figure it out, that you can push through the tough times. The more you act, the more you will believe in yourself. The more you take on challenges, the more your confidence will grow. And the best part? The more confidence you build, the easier it gets to take bigger actions, to step outside your comfort zone, to tackle even bigger challenges. It's like a snowball effect. You start with a small action and over time it turns into something bigger. If you want unstoppable confidence, stop waiting for it to appear. Start acting. Start doing the things that scare you, the things that challenge you, the things that make you feel uncomfortable. Start now, not because you feel ready, but because you will be ready by doing. Confidence is not a feeling you wait for. It's something you create through action. And once you start acting, once you start showing up, once you start doing the work, confidence will be there right alongside you. So if you're tired of waiting, if you're tired of sitting around thinking that confidence is something you'll get one day, start taking action today. Start small if you need to, but just start. Every time you do something, every time you take a step forward, you're building confidence. And before you know it, you'll be looking back at everything you've accomplished and realize that the confidence you've been waiting for was always there. You just had to take the first step. Number 3, erase the old programming, install a new belief system. If you want to change your life, you have to change the way you think. It's that simple. The problem is we've all been conditioned by the world around us, by our experiences, by the people we've been surrounded by, and by the beliefs that have been passed down to us. These beliefs, these programs in our minds, determine how we see ourselves, how we approach challenges, and ultimately how we succeed or fail. To reprogram your mind, you have to first erase the old programming that's been holding you back. And once that old programming is gone, you can install a brand new belief system that empowers you, strengthens you, and drives you toward your goals. Let's be clear, you were not born with limitations. You weren't born thinking small. You weren't born thinking you couldn't do something or that you weren't good enough. Those thoughts, those beliefs, they were installed over time, often without you even realizing it. Maybe you were told growing up that you couldn't achieve certain things. Maybe you had experiences that led you to believe you weren't capable of success. Maybe you've watched others struggle and you started to believe that was just how life worked. And without even knowing it, you started to adopt those limiting beliefs as your own. You began to tell yourself stories about who you are, what you can and can't do, and what you deserve. But here's the thing, those stories, those beliefs, they're not true. They were simply programmed into your mind. And the moment you start to realize that, you can start to take control. Think about it for a second. If you were raised to believe that you couldn't do something, or that success was for other people, not for you, how would you act? How would you show up in the world? You'd hesitate, right? You'd question yourself. You'd hold back from taking risks, from chasing your dreams, because deep down you'd have this belief that you weren't worthy or capable. And that belief would limit everything you did. You'd go through life playing small, not because you couldn't achieve greatness, but because you believed you couldn't. But here's the truth. None of that is set in stone. Your mind is not a fixed thing. You can change it. And the first step is to recognize that you've been operating under old programming. The programming you've been running your whole life can be rewritten. You don't have to accept the beliefs that were given to you by others. You don't have to believe the negative stories you've been telling yourself. It's time to erase the old and replace it with something that empowers you. Here's the good news. Changing your belief system is possible. And it's not as complicated as you might think. The first step is awareness. You have to become aware of the beliefs that have been limiting you. Take a good look at your life, at the results you're getting, at the way you think, at the decisions you make. Are you holding back because you believe you're not good enough? Are you staying in your comfort zone because you've been taught that failure is something to avoid at all costs? Are you avoiding big opportunities because you've convinced yourself that you're not capable of handling them? These are the old programs at work. And the first thing you have to do is recognize them for what they are. False beliefs that don't serve you. Once you recognize the old programming, you can begin to replace it with new, empowering beliefs. The key here is to consciously choose new beliefs that will support the person you want to become. Start by asking yourself, what would I believe if I truly thought I could accomplish anything? What would I believe about myself if I had unshakable confidence? What would I believe about my future if I knew that success was inevitable for me? These are the types of questions that can guide you toward your new belief system. For example, if you've been holding on to the belief that you're not good enough, you need to replace it with a new belief. I am worthy of success, and I am capable of achieving my goals. If you've been living with the fear of failure, replace that with a belief like, failure is simply a part of the process, and it's the stepping stone to success. If you've been playing small, replace that with, I am capable of achieving big things, and I am ready to take on any challenge. Every time you encounter a limiting belief, challenge it. Ask yourself if it's true, and replace it with a new belief that empowers you to take action and move forward. But just changing your beliefs isn't enough. You also need to change the actions you take based on those beliefs. You can't just sit back and wait for the new belief system to magically change your life. You need to act on it. You need to make decisions and take steps that reflect your new belief in your own abilities. The more you take action, the more evidence you'll gather that your new beliefs are true. And over time, as you start to experience success based on these new beliefs, they'll become your reality. There's no magic formula for changing your belief system, but it can be done. It takes time, it takes effort, and it takes repetition. You need to consistently challenge your old beliefs and replace them with ones that serve you. And the more you do this, the more natural it will feel. The more you start to see the results of these new beliefs, the more you'll believe in your own power to create the life you want. The next step is to surround yourself with people and resources that support your new belief system. You can't reprogram your mind if you're constantly being exposed to negativity, doubt, and people who don't believe in you. You need to create an environment that nurtures your growth. One that supports the new beliefs you're installing in your mind. This might mean cutting out negative influences, seeking out positive role models, or consuming content that encourages growth and self-improvement. The final thing to remember is that change takes time. Don't expect to wake up one day with a brand new belief system, fully programmed and ready to go. This is a journey, and you'll need to keep working on it every day. Be patient with yourself. Understand that setbacks will happen, but don't let them stop you. Every time you challenge an old belief and replace it with a new one, you're one step closer to the life you want. Your mind is your most powerful tool, and when you reprogram it, you can change everything. It's time to erase the old programming and install the new. It's time to let go of the limiting beliefs that have held you back for so long and replace them with beliefs that will empower you to take bold action, to push through challenges, and to create the life you've always dreamed of. You have the power to change your mind, change your beliefs, and change your life. Now is the time to start. Number 4, your brain is a muscle. Strengthen it with challenges. You've heard it before, but it's time to really let it sink in. Your brain is a muscle, and just like any muscle in your body, it gets stronger the more you use it. If you want to build a powerful, unstoppable mindset, it's not enough to just wish for it or hope it'll happen. You need to put your brain through real challenges. You need to stretch it, test it, push it to its limits so that it can grow and adapt. That's how you build mental strength. That's how you build a mind that's ready to take on anything. Just like the muscles in your body, your brain thrives on resistance. Without challenges, without moments of struggle, your brain will never grow. Think about it. When you go to the gym and pick up a weight, it's not the weight that makes you stronger, it's the effort you put in to lift it. The same goes for your mind. If you want to grow mentally and emotionally, you need to expose your brain to difficult situations, tough decisions, and challenges that force you to think and stretch your limits. But here's the catch. Most people shy away from challenges. They avoid discomfort. They want things to be easy, to feel good, and to happen without too much effort. And that's exactly why they don't see the growth they want. Success, confidence, and personal strength don't come from taking the easy road. They come from pushing through the hard times, from facing the tough stuff head on, and from choosing to grow even when it feels uncomfortable. You can't grow without challenges. You can't build mental toughness if you never test yourself. And you certainly can't develop the kind of unshakable confidence you want if you aren't willing to step outside your comfort zone. You see, confidence doesn't come from simply knowing that you can do something. It comes from actually doing it. It comes from facing something that feels scary or hard and then doing it anyway. When you push through challenges, you start to see that you're capable of more than you ever imagined. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to prove to yourself just how strong you are. Take a moment and think about the times in your life when you've grown the most. Chances are those were the times when things didn't come easily, when you were faced with a situation that pushed you out of your comfort zone. Maybe it was starting a new job, moving to a new city, or taking on a project you weren't sure you could handle. Those moments of uncertainty, those moments when you didn't know if you could make it through, those were the times when you were forced to grow. And that's when your confidence started to grow too. It's easy to avoid challenges. It's easy to stay in a place where things feel comfortable, where you know what to expect and how to handle it. But that's not where growth happens. Growth happens when you stretch, when you push, when you're forced to adapt. And when you do that, when you face challenges head on, you'll find that your brain gets stronger. It becomes more resilient. It becomes sharper. It becomes better at solving problems and dealing with stress. And all of that leads to the confidence you want. Think about the last time you took on something difficult. Maybe you tried something new, something that seemed impossible at first. What happened? Did you learn something new? Did you find strength you didn't know you had? Did you feel a sense of accomplishment when you pushed through and made it to the other side? That's your brain growing. That's your mind becoming stronger. And the more you do it, the easier it becomes. Challenges become less intimidating, and you start to trust yourself more. You start to believe that you can handle anything that comes your way. And when you have that belief in yourself, there's no stopping you. The key here is not just to face challenges, but to welcome them, seek them out. Don't wait for them to come to you. Take on challenges that force you to think differently, to grow, to evolve. When you embrace challenges like this, you're no longer letting life dictate how you grow. You're taking control. You're choosing to become the person you were always meant to be. Now let's talk about what it really means to build a strong mind. It's not just about handling challenges well. It's about how you respond to them. Do you run away from problems? Do you shy away from difficulty? Or do you face them with the mindset that you will figure it out? Your response to challenges is what determines how strong your brain really is. If you constantly avoid challenges, if you shy away from discomfort, your brain will stay stagnant. It won't grow. But if you face each challenge head on with the belief that you can overcome it, you'll build resilience and strength that will carry you through anything life throws your way. And remember, you don't have to face every challenge alone. Surround yourself with people who will encourage you to grow, people who will support you as you take on new challenges. Find mentors, role models, and a community of people who are also pushing themselves to grow. The stronger your support system, the easier it will be to face challenges with confidence. Building mental strength doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, it takes practice, and it takes a willingness to face discomfort. But the more you embrace challenges, the stronger your mind will become. And the stronger your mind becomes, the more unstoppable you will be. You'll find that you can handle anything that comes your way, and you'll approach each day with confidence, knowing that no challenge is too big for you to handle. So the next time you're faced with a difficult situation, don't shy away from it. Don't avoid it. Step into it with the mindset that this is your opportunity to grow. Face the challenge head on And know that with each step you take, you're strengthening your mind and building the confidence you need to succeed. Your brain is a muscle, and just like any muscle, the more you challenge it, the stronger it gets. Embrace the challenges, push yourself to grow, and watch your confidence soar. Number 5, body follows mind, mind follows body. Fix your posture, fix your confidence. When it comes to building unstoppable confidence, there's one thing that's often overlooked but incredibly powerful: your body. The way you carry yourself, the way you stand, and even the way you move has a direct impact on how you feel about yourself. It's true that your body follows your mind, but the reverse is also just as important. Your mind follows your body. When you fix your posture, when you change the way you physically present yourself to the world, you're not just changing the way others perceive you, you're changing the way you perceive yourself. And that shift can be nothing short of life-changing. When you stand tall, with your chest out and your shoulders back, you send a powerful message, not just to the people around you, but to your own mind. It's as if your body is saying, I am confident, I am capable, I am strong. And in turn, your mind starts to believe it. You see, confidence is not just something that comes from thinking positively about yourself. It's something you have to embody. It's something you have to practice physically every single day. The way you hold yourself influences your emotions and thoughts, even when you're not consciously aware of it. There's a simple but powerful connection between your body and your mind. When you stand in a posture of power, your brain sends signals that tell you that you're ready, that you're in control, and that you are worthy. But the opposite is also true. When you slouch, when you shrink your body and curl in on yourself, your brain gets the message that you are weak, unsure, and small. The good news is, you have the power to change this in an instant. By fixing your posture, you can instantly shift your energy, your emotions, and your mindset. Think about the way you feel when you walk into a room. With your head held high and your body upright, you immediately feel more confident, right? You walk with purpose, and you carry yourself like you belong. This isn't a coincidence. Your body and mind are connected in ways that go far beyond what we typically realize. And when you make the choice to adjust your body to align it with confidence, you'll notice the immediate change in your thoughts and emotions. The way you carry yourself affects how people perceive you as well. If you walk into a room slouched over, with your head down and your shoulders hunched, people are less likely to see you as someone who is self-assured. But when you walk into that same room standing tall, looking people in the eye and moving with purpose, others can't help but notice the difference. They'll treat you with more respect, and that positive reinforcement will only continue to build your self-esteem. But here's the real secret. This doesn't have to be something that happens naturally. You can make it happen intentionally. You don't have to wait for the confidence to come before you fix your posture. Instead, you can use your posture to create confidence in yourself. The more you practice standing tall and moving with purpose, the more natural it will become. And the more natural it becomes, the more powerful your confidence will grow. You might be thinking, okay, but how does this actually work? It's simple. When you fix your posture, you immediately improve the way you carry yourself, which changes the way you feel. And the more you do it, the more you're training your brain to associate good posture with confidence. Over time, this becomes second nature. When you walk into a room, you won't have to consciously remind yourself to stand tall. It will just happen. And when that happens, you'll notice a shift not only in how you feel, but also in how others respond to you. Now let's get into the physical side of this. If you want to truly build a strong body and a strong mind, you have to be intentional about the way you carry yourself. This doesn't mean just standing tall for a few seconds here and there. This means taking the time to consciously improve your posture every single day. Make it a habit. Whether you're walking, sitting, standing, or even just waiting in line, practice having your shoulders back, your chest open, and your head held high. It's not just about looking confident, it's about feeling confident too. And you can start feeling confident right now, in this very moment, by simply choosing to stand tall. The more you practice this, the more your brain will start to believe that you are strong and capable. You'll notice that even when you don't feel confident, your body will help you fake it until you make it. And before you know it, you'll realize that the fake confidence has turned into real, lasting confidence. What's amazing about this is that it's something you have complete control over. You don't have to wait for the world to change or for your circumstances to improve. You can start building your confidence right now with something as simple as your posture. It's free, it's easy, and it's incredibly effective. All you have to do is commit to doing it every day, no matter where you are or what you're doing. And this isn't just about standing tall. It's about how you move, too. When you walk into a room, walk like you own it. Move with intention. Make every step purposeful. Your body will follow your mind, and soon enough, your mind will follow your body. The more you practice moving with confidence, the more your mind will start to believe that you are confident. You'll start walking into rooms with the belief that you belong there, that you're worthy of success, and that you are capable of anything you set your mind to. So, if you want to build unstoppable confidence, start with your posture. Stand tall, walk with purpose, and move with intention. Don't wait for your mind to catch up. Use your body to tell your brain that you are strong, capable, and ready for whatever comes your way. Your body follows your mind, and your mind follows your body. Take control of both. Number 6, failing doesn't make you weak, giving up does. We live in a world where failure is often seen as the ultimate sign of weakness. It's as if the moment we fail, we're marked as unworthy or incapable of achieving our goals. But what if I told you that failing doesn't make you weak? In fact, it's the exact opposite. Failing is a part of success, and more importantly, it's a part of building the strength and resilience that you need to get to where you want to go. The real weakness, the thing that will hold you back in life, isn't failure, it's giving up. Every successful person you know, every person who's achieved something great, has failed. They've failed many times, in fact. But they didn't let those failures define them. They didn't let those moments of difficulty stop them. Instead, they used failure as a lesson, as an opportunity to grow, and as a stepping stone toward their ultimate success. If you're not failing, if you're not putting yourself out there and taking risks, then you're not growing. And if you're not growing, then you're not moving forward, you're staying stuck. The idea that failing makes you weak is a lie that so many of us have been taught. We've been conditioned to believe that failure is something to be avoided at all costs. But here's the truth. The only way to truly fail is to stop trying. Giving up is the only thing that guarantees you'll never reach your potential, because when you give up, you're telling yourself that you're not capable of more, that you're not worthy of success, and that's the real failure. Look at any successful person. They didn't get there by avoiding failure. They didn't get there by playing it safe and sticking to what they already knew. No, they got there by taking risks, by pushing themselves, by putting in the work even when it was hard. And along the way, they failed, but they didn't let that failure stop them. They used it to fuel their fire, to strengthen their resolve, and to improve their approach. And in the end, it was their persistence, their refusal to give up, that led to their success. Failure isn't a sign that you're not good enough. It's a sign that you're pushing yourself, that you're challenging yourself, and that you're doing something meaningful. It's a sign that you're trying, and trying is the first step towards success. Think about it. If you never failed, how would you ever know what works and what doesn't? How would you ever learn? It's failure that teaches us the most valuable lessons in life. It's failure that shows us where we need to grow, where we need to improve, and what we need to do differently next time. But even with all the lessons that failure teaches us, it's still easy to fall into the trap of thinking that failure equals weakness. We live in a society that values success and instant results, and it can feel like you're not measuring up if you're not constantly winning. But let me tell you something. Success is not about never failing. It's about failing and then getting back up again and again, no matter how many times it takes. It's about learning from your mistake, adjusting your approach, and continuing to push forward with determination and belief in yourself. The truth is, you are going to fail, and that's okay. It's part of the process. The key is not to let failure define you, but to let it refine you. Use it as a tool to sharpen your skills, to deepen your understanding, and to strengthen your resolve. Every time you fail and get back up, you become stronger. Every time you fail and learn, you become wiser. And every time you fail and keep going, you build the kind of unshakable confidence that only comes from experience. When you fail, you're not weak. You're human. You're a person who's willing to step outside of their comfort zone and do something that matters. And that's something to be proud of. So don't let failure scare you. Don't let it stop you. Instead, let it motivate you. Let it push you to do better, to try harder, and to never, ever give up. You see, the real failure comes when you quit, when you decide that you're not worth the effort, when you give up on your dreams and settle for a life that's less than what you're capable of. That's the failure you should be afraid of. Not the failure that happens when you try and fall short. Not the failure that happens when you give it your all and it doesn't go as planned. That's just part of the journey. But quitting? That's the only thing that guarantees you'll never get to where you want to go. In those moments when things get tough, when you feel like giving up, remember this: you are not weak for failing. You are not weak for struggling. You are not weak for not having everything figured out. What matters is what you do after that. It's the decision to get back up, to keep going, and to continue pushing toward your goals. That's what will make you stronger. That's what will make you unstoppable. And that's what will eventually lead to your success. So when you fail, and you will fail, don't let it knock you down. Don't let it tell you that you're not good enough. Let it teach you, let it guide you, and let it push you to be better, stronger, and more determined than ever before. Because failing doesn't make you weak. Giving up does. Keep going. Keep learning. Keep growing, and you'll get there. Number 7, the only approval you need is your own. Stop seeking permission. You've got dreams, right? Big ones. And somewhere deep inside, you know you're capable of achieving them. But here's the thing. Somewhere along the way, you've been convinced that you need someone else's approval. Maybe it's your boss, your family, your friends, or even society at large. You think that before you take a step, before you make a move, you need that stamp of approval, that green light that tells you, go ahead, it's okay. But let me tell you something that can change everything. The only approval you truly need is your own. When you rely on other people's opinions or validation to feel confident, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. Why? Because people will always have their own perspectives, their own agendas, and their own reasons for what they say or do. If you're waiting for someone else's permission to live the life you want or to chase your dreams, you're giving away your power. You're letting someone else dictate your worth. That's a dangerous game, and trust me, it's not one you want to play. Think about it for a moment. How many times have you stopped yourself from doing something because you weren't sure if it would be well received? Maybe it's a new project, a new idea, a new relationship, or just the simple act of stepping out of your comfort zone. You hesitated because you worried what others would think. You hesitated because you were waiting for someone else to approve of your choices, your actions, your path. And in doing so, you missed out on opportunities. You held yourself back. Why? Because you gave someone else the power to decide what you should do. The truth is, waiting for permission is a trap. It's a trap that keeps you stuck in a cycle of indecision, doubt, and fear. You can't move forward when you're constantly looking around to see if it's okay. To move, you need to stop living for the approval of others and start living for yourself. The only person whose approval you need is the one you see in the mirror every day. When you can look at yourself and say, I believe in this, that's when things will change. That's when your confidence will soar. We all have the tendency to seek validation. It's human nature. We want to be accepted, to belong, to feel that we matter. But here's the thing, true fulfillment doesn't come from the approval of others. It comes from the approval you give yourself. It comes from trusting your own judgment, believing in your abilities, and taking ownership of your life. It comes from stepping into your own power and saying, I don't need anyone's permission to be who I am or to go after what I want. Think about the times when you've accomplished something great, something that made you proud. How did it feel? I'm willing to bet that the feeling of accomplishment came from within you, not from what someone else said or thought. Sure, it's nice to receive praise and recognition, but at the end of the day, the pride you feel in your own achievements comes from knowing that you did it for you. You didn't wait for anyone to tell you it was okay. You made the decision to go after your goals, no matter what anyone else thought. When you stop seeking permission, you unlock a whole new level of freedom. You stop second-guessing yourself. You stop worrying about what others think. And most importantly, you stop waiting for a moment that may never come. You take the reins of your own life. You realize that the only person who can stop you is you. And once you fully grasp that, nothing will stand in your way. Now let's get real for a second. It's not always easy to stop seeking approval. We've been conditioned to look for validation from others since we were kids. We've been told that we need to fit in, that we need to follow the rules, that we need to play by society's standards. But here's the harsh truth. Society doesn't know what's best for you. Your family doesn't know what's best for you. Your friends don't know what's best for you. Only you know what's best for you. You are the expert on your own life. You are the only one who knows what truly excites you, what motivates you, and what fills you with purpose. So why let anyone else's opinions dictate your decisions? You have the power to create your own path. You have the ability to carve out a future that aligns with your dreams, not someone else's. And the moment you realize that, you'll stop seeking approval and you'll start creating the life you deserve. And this doesn't mean that you should completely disregard the opinions of others. It doesn't mean that you should stop listening to constructive feedback or advice. But there's a huge difference between listening to advice and living your life based on what others think. Your journey is yours alone. It's personal. And the moment you take full responsibility for it is the moment you start taking control. The most successful people in the world didn't wait for permission. They didn't wait for someone to tell them it was okay to go after their dreams. They made the decision to take action, to step into the unknown, to trust themselves and to keep going even when others didn't understand. And that's what you need to do too. Stop waiting for the green light. Stop waiting for someone else to give you the go-ahead. You don't need anyone's approval but your own. There will always be critics. There will always be people who don't understand your vision or your path, but the only opinion that matters is yours. You are the one who has to live with your choices, not anyone else. You are the one who has to wake up every morning and decide what you're going to do with your life. So stop seeking permission, stop looking for validation, trust yourself, believe in yourself, and take the steps you need to take to create the life you truly want. When you start living for your own approval, you'll begin to notice something amazing. Your confidence will grow. Your sense of purpose will deepen. And you'll find that the fear of judgment from others starts to fade away. Why? Because you'll realize that their approval doesn't matter. What matters is that you are doing what's right for you, that you are living a life that aligns with your values and dreams. So from this moment forward, give yourself the permission you've been waiting for. Stop asking for it from others. Take control of your life. Believe in your decisions. Trust your instincts. And never forget that the only approval you need is your own. When you start living like that, you'll realize that nothing can stop you. Nothing at all. Number 8, growth feels uncomfortable. But that's where confidence is built. We all want growth. We want progress. We want to reach new heights, become better versions of ourselves, and achieve more than we ever thought possible. But here's the truth that nobody tells you. Growth is uncomfortable. It's messy. It's not this smooth, easy ride to success. In fact, it can feel downright painful at times. But if you're willing to push through the discomfort, that's where your confidence is built. When was the last time you truly grew? Not the kind of growth where you learned a new skill or had a minor breakthrough, but real, transformative growth. The kind that challenges everything you know about yourself. That kind of growth is always uncomfortable. It's the discomfort that forces you to stretch beyond your limits. It's the discomfort that forces you to step out of your comfort zone, face your fears, and take action when you'd rather do anything but. But that discomfort, that's the key to building unshakable confidence. Think about it for a second. When you're comfortable, you're not growing, you're stagnant. You're sitting in a place where everything feels safe, predictable, and easy, but that's not where the magic happens. The magic happens when you're faced with a challenge that pushes you to think differently, act differently, and feel differently. That's where real growth happens. And the best part? The more you embrace the discomfort, the more confident you become in your ability to handle whatever life throws at you. Growth doesn't come without its challenges. It doesn't come without fear, self-doubt, and moments of uncertainty. But if you push through those moments, if you keep moving forward, even when it feels like the world is against you, you'll come out the other side, stronger, wiser, and more confident than ever before. The confidence you're after isn't something that's handed to you on a silver platter. It's earned through action. It's earned by doing things that scare you. It's earned by pushing past the fear and doing it anyway. When you're in the middle of a growth period, it can feel like everything is falling apart. You question yourself, you doubt your decisions, you wonder if it's worth it. But this is exactly where confidence is born. The more you experience discomfort and push through it, the more you learn that you're capable of handling much more than you thought. You realize that you're not defined by your setbacks or struggles, but by how you rise from them. Confidence isn't about being perfect or having everything figured out. It's about knowing that you can handle whatever life throws your way and still come out on top. Think about the times in your life when you were the most confident. Chances are those were the times when you had to face something difficult, something that pushed you to your limits. Maybe it was a career challenge, a personal struggle, or a big decision you had to make. But whatever it was the discomfort of that situation that forced you to grow. And that growth is what fueled your confidence. It wasn't the easy, comfortable moments that made you confident. It was the tough moments, the moments when you had to dig deep and push through, that shaped who you are today. The truth is, growth isn't a linear process. It's not a straight path where everything just gets better and better. It's a journey filled with ups and downs, twists and turns, and plenty of bumps along the way. But those bumps are the very things that help you grow. They teach you resilience. They teach you how to keep going even when things get tough. And with each challenge you face, you get stronger, you get more confident. You start to believe in yourself more because you've seen yourself overcome the hardest of times. You've seen yourself rise even when everything seemed like it was falling apart. It's easy to want to avoid discomfort. It's natural to want to stay in your comfort zone where things feel safe and secure. But if you want to grow, if you want to build real confidence, you have to embrace discomfort. You have to lean into the fear, the uncertainty, and the challenges, because it's in those moments of discomfort that you'll find the strength to rise above. It's in those moments that you'll prove to yourself just how capable you really are. The next time you face a challenge, don't shy away from it. Don't look for the easy way out. Embrace the discomfort. See it for what it is. A sign that you're growing, that you're becoming stronger, and that you're building the confidence you need to succeed. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to level up, to prove to yourself that you're capable of more than you ever imagined. And the more you embrace those challenges, the more confident you'll become. Remember, growth is uncomfortable, but that discomfort is the foundation of confidence. The more you experience it, the more you'll grow. And the more you grow, the more confident you'll feel in your ability to take on whatever comes your way. So the next time you're faced with discomfort, don't run from it. Run toward it. It's the key to everything you want. Confidence, success, and a life that's truly extraordinary. Number 9, the more you show up, the less you doubt yourself. You know what's incredible? The simple act of showing up. Just being there, putting in the effort. Even when you feel like you're not ready, even when you feel like you're not enough, it's so easy to fall into the trap of doubting yourself. You think you're not good enough, not prepared enough, or maybe even that others are more capable than you. But here's a truth that'll change your whole perspective. The more you show up, the less you'll doubt yourself. Every time you show up, you're not just taking action. You're sending a message to yourself that you can handle whatever comes your way. It's like a silent affirmation. You're proving to your mind that you're capable, that you're willing to face challenges head on, and that you're not backing down. The more you show up, the more you build this internal bank of evidence that you can trust yourself. And the more evidence you have, the less space there is for doubt. We've all been there, right? Staring at something, feeling the weight of uncertainty pressing down on us. You've got this idea, this dream, but the voice in your head tells you it's too much, you're not prepared, and maybe even that others are way ahead of you. But what most people don't realize is that the key to pushing through that doubt is simply showing up. It doesn't even matter how perfect your performance is. The fact that you showed up makes all the difference. This is something that successful people understand at a deep level. They don't have the magic answer to eliminate doubt. They don't have this secret way of silencing that inner critic. What they have is a willingness to show up over and over again. They know that the act of showing up is what builds confidence, not perfection. They know that action, even imperfect action, is what propels them forward. And in doing so, they erase doubt, one step at a time. It's easy to get stuck in this loop of trying to prepare for the perfect moment, waiting for the right time to take action. But guess what? There's no such thing as the perfect time. There's always going to be something holding you back. Fear, uncertainty, insecurity. But what you need to realize is that the perfect time doesn't exist. And the only thing that really matters is showing up and doing the work anyway. You don't need to have everything figured out to make progress. You just need to start. Think about it for a moment. Every time you put yourself out there, no matter the outcome, you're proving something to yourself. You're proving that you can face fear, that you can take on challenges, and that you can make it through even when things don't go as planned. And with each step, the doubt starts to shrink because you're building a track record of success, no matter how small the victories may seem. And when you look back, you realize that all the times you showed up, even when it felt hard, were the moments that got you closer to your goal. What's incredible about showing up is that it doesn't require you to have all the answers or the perfect plan. It's about consistency. It's about putting in the work every single day, even when you don't feel like it. Think about how much more confident you'd feel if you just kept showing up. Imagine how much stronger your belief in yourself would be if you simply committed to taking action no matter what. The more you do this, the more your confidence will grow, and the less doubt will take up space in your mind. This is something that athletes, artists, and entrepreneurs understand well. They show up not because they think they have all the answers, but because they trust that showing up will lead to results. They know that consistency is the key. The more they put in the work, the more they learn, the more they grow, and the more they realize that their doubts don't define them, they're just a passing feeling that fades, the more they act. Think about a time when you showed up and succeeded. It could be anything. A presentation, a job interview, a challenge you thought you couldn't handle. When you showed up, you proved to yourself that you could do it. And it didn't matter whether you were fully prepared or knew exactly what would happen. What mattered was that you took that step forward, even when everything around you seemed uncertain. That's where your confidence comes from. It doesn't come from knowing you'll succeed every time. It comes from knowing that you can handle whatever comes your way, no matter what the outcome. Doubt has a funny way of fading when you make a habit of showing up. It's like when you face something head on instead of running from it, it loses its power over you. The more you show up, the less room there is for doubt to creep in. You start to trust in your ability to figure things out as you go. You start to trust that the effort you put in will pay off, even if it takes time. And when you trust yourself, the doubt starts to fade away. One of the most powerful things about showing up is that it forces you to grow. It forces you to become comfortable with the discomfort of uncertainty. The more you show up, the more you're forced to face the parts of yourself that you've been avoiding. The insecurities, the fears, the limiting beliefs. And each time you push through those, you become stronger. You become more confident. And eventually you'll reach a point where doubt doesn't even have the space to exist anymore. So here's the takeaway. If you want to stop doubting yourself, start showing up. No matter how imperfectly, no matter how uncertain you feel, just show up. Show up for yourself, show up for your goals, show up for your future. And with every step you take, you'll find that doubt becomes less and less of a barrier. Because with every action, with every move forward, you're proving to yourself that you can trust in your own ability. And the more you do that, the more confident you'll become. And the more confident you become, the less doubt will even have a chance to take hold. So let this be your reminder. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting for the right time. The time is now. Show up even when it's hard. Show up even when you feel unprepared. Show up and watch how it changes everything. Number 10, people only respect you when you respect yourself first. You know, there's one truth that's been proven time and time again. People only respect you when you respect yourself first. Let that sink in for a moment. The respect you get from others is directly tied to how much you believe in your own worth. The world will only treat you the way you treat yourself. And that's not just a nice quote, it's the reality of human behavior. If you want others to see your value, it starts with you seeing it first. So often we put so much effort into seeking validation from others. We chase approval, seek praise, and hope that others will see us the way we want to be seen. But what we fail to realize is that this need for validation is like a bottomless pit. No matter how much you get, it never feels like enough because deep down, if you haven't given that validation to yourself yet, it's like trying to fill a cup with holes in it. It'll never hold water because it's not sealed from within. The key to gaining true respect from others is not in waiting for them to notice your worth. but in showing up with full self-respect. Imagine this. When you respect yourself, you set boundaries. You stand up for what you believe in. You don't tolerate being treated badly, and you don't allow others to walk all over you. That's the kind of person people respect. You become a magnet for the right kind of relationships, the right kind of opportunities, and the right kind of energy. When you respect yourself, your presence becomes a statement. People notice it, and they respond to it. It's a form of silent power that speaks louder than words. And here's the thing about respect. It's not something you demand from others. It's something you earn by the way you carry yourself. It's in how you speak to yourself, the way you handle your own emotions, and how you take care of your body and mind. Self-respect isn't about arrogance or thinking you're better than anyone else. It's about recognizing your own value and refusing to accept anything less than what you deserve. It's about standing tall and believing that you are worthy of success, love, and respect. No one has the power to take that away from you unless you let them. Now, I want you to think about someone you truly respect. Chances are that person isn't someone who seeks approval from others every day. They have an inner strength that draws respect because they walk with confidence in their own worth. They know who they are and they aren't afraid to show it. They're not constantly seeking validation from others because they've already validated themselves. And that self-defiant bastion is what allows them to stand firm no matter what the world throws at them. You can think of self-respect as the foundation for everything in life. Without it, nothing else can stand. It's the cornerstone of confidence, success, and healthy relationships. If you respect yourself, you set the standard for how others will treat you. You teach people how to treat you by how you treat yourself. When you demand respect from others, but you don't give it to yourself, you're building on a shaky foundation that will inevitably crumble. And let's be real. There are times when people will test your boundaries. There will be moments when others will try to take advantage of your kindness, push your limits, or even try to disrespect you. But when you respect yourself, you have the courage to stand firm and say, "This is not okay. I will not tolerate this." You don't let other people's actions dictate your value. Instead, you stay grounded in the belief that you deserve respect and you act in alignment with that belief. When you respect yourself, it's not about being perfect. It's not about being flawless or having everything figured out. It's about showing up every day and being unapologetically you. It's about acknowledging your strengths, embracing your weaknesses, and still holding yourself in high regard. When you do that, you become magnetic. You start to attract people who genuinely appreciate you for who you are, not for who they want you to be. The beauty of self-respect is that it frees you from the need for external validation. You no longer rely on the opinions of others to feel good about yourself. And the more you embrace this mindset, the more you'll see how your relationships, your career, and even your personal growth will flourish. When you believe in yourself, others are bound to follow suit. You'll also start to notice something amazing happening. The more you respect yourself, the less tolerance you'll have for negativity. You won't entertain toxic relationships or environments that drain your energy. You'll start gravitating toward people who lift you up, challenge you to grow, and respect you in return. And that's the key. When you respect yourself, you naturally start attracting people who share that same respect. It's also important to realize that self-respect isn't just about how others see you. It's about how you see yourself when no one else is watching. It's about how you treat yourself when you're alone. It's about the way you talk to yourself, the care you give your mind and body, and the love you show yourself in those quiet, private moments. When you cultivate self-respect, you start to feel it in every aspect of your life. You don't have to prove yourself to anyone because you've already proven it to yourself. And the more you prove it to yourself, the more you show others that they have no choice but to respect you. Self-respect is the ultimate form of self-love. It's not selfish, and it's not about thinking you're better than anyone else. It's about recognizing your worth, setting healthy boundaries, and expecting nothing less than the best from yourself and others. It's about acknowledging that you are enough just as you are, and that you deserve to be treated with dignity, kindness, and respect. And when you do that, you'll find that the world will start treating you the same way. It's all about the energy you put out into the world. When you respect yourself, that energy radiates, and people can't help but respond to it. The simple truth is that when you respect yourself, everything in your life begins to change. You start demanding more from your career, your relationships, and even your personal growth. You start stepping into your true potential, and you do it with the knowledge that you are worthy of everything you desire. So, remember this: the respect you receive from others is a reflection of the respect you give yourself. Treat yourself with the love, care, and respect that you deserve, and watch how the world around you starts to shift. When you respect yourself first, you open the door to a life filled with respect, success, and happiness. Now, as we wrap this up, remember this: confidence isn't a one-time achievement. It's something you build and strengthen every single day. It's the little decisions you make when no one's watching, the moments when you choose to act despite your fears, and the times you push past discomfort to grow. You don't need to wait for the perfect moment to be confident. You create it. Every action you take, every step you make, brings you closer to the version of yourself you've always wanted to be. So don't stop now. Take what you've learned here, apply it, and start showing up for yourself every day. Trust that every small win will lead to bigger victories, and that confidence will become a natural part of who you are. Remember, you don't need anyone's permission to be great. All you need is your own belief, your own drive, and the willingness to show up, even when it's tough. Keep going, keep growing, and soon enough, you'll look back and realize just how far you've come. Thank you for watching, and keep pushing forward. Your unstoppable confidence is waiting for you. Anyone's permission to be great. All you need is your own belief, your own drive, and the willingness to show up, even when it's tough. Keep going, keep growing, and soon enough, you'll look back and realize just how far you've come. Thank you for watching, and keep pushing forward. Your unstoppable confidence is waiting for you.